Welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am the host and creator, Teresa Caesar. My intention for this podcast is to deliver to you wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness through solo episodes and conversations amongst insightful people. It is my greatest honor to bring to you talks that come from the heart. Welcome back, amazing souls. Today's episode is such a gift because I get to sit down with two extraordinary women who are not only dear friends, but also true change makers. Women who are using their positions of influence to create solutions and real impact here in our community in Tucson, Arizona, and beyond. Together, Jeannine Sharp-Mason and Natalie Fernandez are part of something truly special with Arizona Diaper Bank and its signature fundraiser, Dancing with Our Stars, an event that combines community, connection, celebration, service, and a little dancing in the name of impact. In this conversation, Jeannine and Natalie open up about how this mission has personally touched their hearts, what it's taught them, and how the simple act of giving your time and energy can ripple outward to transform a community. Jeannine Sharp-Mason is the founder of Jeannine Brandworks, a creative consultancy that builds standout brand identities, strategic partnerships, and unforgettable events for nonprofits, sports, entertainment, and corporate clients. She's led major campaigns for University of Arizona Athletics and Tucson Tourism, guided global marketing, and a full rebrand for a multi-billion-dollar medical company. She's always leading with creativity, connection, and heart. Natalie Fernandez is the partner and president of Meridian Wealth Management West, a nationally recognized wealth management firm. With nearly 30 years of experience, she specializes in strategic investment planning and financial education for individuals, families, businesses, and nonprofits. She's also a dedicated community leader, mother of 5, and a passionate flamenco dancer who truly embodies her philosophy of lead by example. You'll hear both of them share more of their personal stories as well as introduce themselves inside this episode, but I wanted you to feel right from the beginning the caliber of wisdom, power, heart, and leadership you're about to experience. Friends, I'm so honored to bring to you this incredible conversation with Natalie Fernandez and Jeannine Sharp-Mason.
Long time coming. I feel like we've been talking about this
Yes.
for years of being on your show, and I'm super excited to finally be here.
Yeah, because there's so many reasons to have you on, and I felt like the timing was perfect. You both are collaborating and really supporting an incredible local organization, Arizona Diaper Bank, with this Dancing with the Stars event. So we're going to dive into that. But before we do, I think it's so significant for this audience to get to know each of you because listeners out there, these two women, before I've had the honor and privilege to call them my friends, I would admire you both. And I think I might have told you that. And just seeing you out in the world before we became friends, the way you command a room and how you show up in the community and your stories have always just been so inspiring to me. So then when we got to be friends and I got to see you in action in person and even join forces, we did the Heart Association's Go Red. Both of you were chairwomen on that. And so here we are. I'm going to have each of you introduce who you are, what you do, because the power of telling who we are ourselves, it's the most powerful affirmation you could use, right? I am, you define yourself. So that being said, we're going to go to alphabetical order. My girl, Jeannine, can you introduce to this audience who you are?
Well, I am Jeannine Mason. I am a native Tucsonan, born and raised here. Attended the University of Arizona, where I played volleyball a very long time ago. I have a degree in fine arts. So from there, I went into marketing. And so my career has been in advertising. I have worked in the corporate setting, running a marketing communications department for a large medical device company, and most recently started my own consulting business, Brandworks, which focuses on branding for individuals, businesses, products, all of that. And I am here in Tucson again. I moved away to California for about 20 years, came back about 10 years ago, and have kind of thrown myself into the community in many ways. I'm very excited to be involved in many philanthropic efforts, and most recently with Arizona Diaper Bank in the last couple years, supporting their efforts as well as their Dancing with Our Stars event, I have known both of you now for many years, and I know we all kind of tied together through a local women's networking group, Key Group Tucson, which is local women business leaders. And that's how I know the three of us kind of cross paths. And it's been a wonderful relationship with the two of you. And it's very exciting to be talking about this today. So thank you, Teresa.
I'm so glad that you brought up Key Group because I was so grateful for that invitation from you, Natalie, because it was the first time I've ever been in a networking group and then with all women, of course. And so, yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Okay, Natalie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored to be here with both of you you both are significant in my life from a friendship, professional, family, all around level. And it's interesting when I'm asked these days, who are you? I'm Natalie Fernandez. I'm in the wealth management industry and have been for close to 30 years. And I'm a mother. I have 5 children who I absolutely adore. Like Jeannine, I'm a native to Tucson, so we've got some pretty strong roots here. You don't see that very often with that many people from all in one on one screen that are all native to Tucson. And as a result, the community is really important to me in the same way that it is for both of you. And I really focus through financial management, through being a parent, through being involved in the community on how I can create a lasting impact. My foundation and probably most everything I do leans towards education. And talking about this event with Arizona Diaper Bank, which I know we'll get more into, it's how can we continue to educate and improve the lives around us through what we do? And I'm honored to be in the company of you all in community, friendship, events, Tucson, business, all of those different areas because our impact is stretching far, far and wide by having people like us involved. And I think it's great to be able to say that. And it makes me proud as a business owner and as a native Tucsonan to be able to say that and be a part of so many amazing things here in Tucson.
And that's what I admire about you both, as busy as you are as professionals and mothers, your ability to just show up for the community. We do have so many incredible nonprofits here. You sit on boards. Arizona Diaper Bank, when I learned about it and I guess my history with it and experiences with when I was with Tucson Unified School District, they supported our families in need in so many ways. And when I got wind that you were chairing, Jeannine, and that Natalie, our dancer, was dancing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this has to come on the show," because not a lot of people, right, know about the diaper bank, and so this is the whole reason I, like, have this show is to show the impact on all levels that we're making together and to spread the word to more people, to get involved in many facets. Maybe we may not share it, but we can definitely support it in multiple ways. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead to our chairwoman, Jeannine Mason. Tell us about Arizona Diaper Bank.
Well, the diaper bank here in Tucson is quite unique. They were the first diaper bank established in the nation a little over 30 years ago by local women here in Tucson. Many of them people probably still know. And they were the first of its kind. And now there's diaper agencies all across the U.S. Arizona Diaper Bank supports not just Southern Arizona, but all of Arizona. Recently, they expanded to Maricopa County and northern parts of Arizona. They serve about 4 million diapers a year across the state, and they partner with about 55 agencies around the state as well to distribute those diapers. And I think that's what people don't quite understand is Diaper Bank collects those diapers through all kinds of philanthropic efforts, people just donating through funding, things like that. But then they have to distribute those diapers. And so they partner with food banks and other organizations to get them in people's hands. That's one of their biggest challenges right now is just distribution, getting them on trucks, getting them to the places where they need to be so that people can have access to them. Most recently, the diaper bank has suffered some budget cuts, as many public agencies have. And so this year, more than ever, it is so important for the community to rally behind them and support them. The diaper bank, they're just amazing. They run on a very lean team. Just a handful of people work within their headquarters here, just right on Plummer, right across from the U of A track. And they rely really on volunteers to go in there and help them with these packaging these diapers, distributing these diapers, getting them ready to get on trucks and get into people's hands. I was fortunate enough to get involved a couple years ago when I was asked to chair Dancing with Our Stars in 2024, and then came on really kind of full blown to help with this year's event. I also serve on the board for Arizona Diaper Bank, and mainly because I've made a conscious effort to support those organizations here in town that support women or support children. Through the Heart Association that I know we've all been involved in, and Go Red for women, and then U of A Still Children's Research Center, which supports children's health. And so the Diaper Bank really helping women and children. And everybody, all ages, are supported by the Diaper Bank, whether you're a young child who needs diapers, or a woman who needs period products, or an older generation that needs incontinence products as well. It provides all of those across the state. And so this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, Dancing with Our Stars. And we are really thrilled to have so many great, what we call change makers involved. And those are our local Southern Arizona change makers. And those are people like Natalie, who have a presence here, who have a voice, and are looking to lend that voice to raise awareness, and also their time. They have donated an incredible amount of time to prepare for this event. And so we're so grateful to have people like Natalie on board, who are not only very talented, as people will see when they come to the event on April 18th, but her voice as well has really been impactful for us at this time.
I love that. Well, thank you for summarizing all of that. That's incredible. I didn't realize it was started by women and that we put it on the map and activate it for the nation. And I love that we also have one of the change makers. How many are there that are representing?
We have 8 this
Okay.
year, so a variety of backgrounds. Our theme this year is rhythm and roots. So we really wanted to have a variety of cultural roots represented in our change makers, who are going to bring their culture into their performances. And Natalie can tell you a little more about that, about her background, which is pretty unique. But yeah, very exciting to for you to all meet all of our change makers.
I love it. Okay, that being said, I'm gonna hand the mic to our change maker, Natalie. What made you say yes to this?
If I'm being completely honest, was I love to dance, and this is going to be so much fun. I love the show, Dancing with the Stars, the national televised show. I love this event. I've been to it in the past. I was there when Jeannine was the chair, and she killed it, absolutely killed it up there. And knowing she was involved, and knowing that some of the past participants were involved, and knowing that this has been going on for many years, it felt natural to say, "Oh, yes, I'd love to do that," and I've been a flamenco dancer for 30 years, and so which is really, Teresa, where you and I connected way back, like, that's our roots of our friendship and relationship, but it's what I didn't realize that would come from it was the knowledge and the understanding of the need. I did not understand how Arizona Diaper Bank impacts so many people. As a mom, we're all moms. As a mom of a lot of kids between the 3 of us, I can't imagine not having diapers to change my kids when they were little. I cannot imagine. I didn't have that problem. I didn't have that challenge. I was able to take care of that, though it was harder with my when I was a younger mom than it was when I was an older mom, but I can't imagine. And what I've really enjoyed about this whole process is diving in with Arizona Diaper Bank to learn more. So I've gone down and donated time on a couple of occasions. I've taken my kids down to learn how they bundle diapers and how they do inventory. I was doing that a couple weeks ago. And I've invited folks from my office and my work to come down and volunteer and learn what Arizona Diaper Bank is about. And so I think in understanding more what the need is, it has enabled me to really look at it from a level of impact as well. I also thought, well, if I dance flamenco, I can dance anything, right? Well, I stand to correct. The tango is not flamenco. And I have learned real quickly, I've been put in my place. It's funny, among the change makers, we pretty much all know each other here in the community. And I heard a lot of comments of, "Oh, she's a dancer. She's got this." Man, it dancing one way is not the same as dancing the others. So it's definitely been a challenge from that standpoint. But it's an honor to be involved with the people that are involved. It is meeting the staff, meeting who's the CEO of Arizona Diaper Bank, meeting, the folks like Jeannine and Lisa Mandel and others that are involved on the board and in the community. There's a big effort, and it's very effective and impactful. And my goal is to continue to spread what this need is for now through the event next weekend and then for years to come.
I love that. It's not a one and done. It's like you're forever going to feel connected and be part of the impact. How has this experience changed your perspective? Is there any specific stories for both of you, being involved at the level as a chairwoman to being a dancer? Because you're behind the scenes a little bit, right? What impact has this made on you, would you say?
Well, for me, it's interesting because as you go into this and we invite people, I can say I had no problem getting Natalie to say yes. She was probably the one person who was like, "I'll do it, no problem." And then afterwards, she's like, "Why am I doing this? This is so hard." Where all the other change makers, we had to beg and plead. It was so far out of their comfort zone to be involved and finally convinced them after a lot of pleading and begging. And then I'm not gonna lie, within a month of them doing the dance lessons, every one of them have called me and said, "What an amazing experience this has been for us." To be out of our comfort zone, to learn about the diaper bank, they are so fully invested. My phone rings every day from people going, "Oh my gosh," they're just so excited about this process and what it's taught them, not only about themselves, but about the diaper bank. It's very, very challenging. And as you hear from the national broadcast, you always hear about these celebrities saying, "Oh my God, it's changed my life." I mean, it's even done that for our local change makers as well to participate in this event. And I know we already have a long line of people lined up who want to do it again in the future, or do it in the future. And so we're excited for the years to come of this event taking place. With the diaper bank, I've learned so much being involved in the last couple years about not only the idea of people not having diapers, but the economic impact it's had on our community. And I know Natalie is a businesswoman. She very much cares about Tucson's community and the economic community we have here. But the impact it has of people not having these, what we call it, diaper insecurity, when people do not have these products in order to be able to go to work, to be able to go to school, the impact on our healthcare system because they can't change diapers frequent enough. And so being able to send people to school, get people to work because they don't have to stay home and take care of their children because they don't have enough diapers to send them to daycare. It is a large impact. It's almost a third of the families here in Arizona are impacted by that. And so Diaper Bank works not only to provide diapers, but also to provide new systems and work with the government to change laws. Right now, we're lobbying to change the tax on these products. Right now, Arizona is one of 23 states that still taxes diaper products and period products. And so, Yvette has been working to try and change those laws in order to remove that tax to make these easier for our people to have in their hands. So I've learned a lot. Yeah, it's been quite an experience, and I'm still learning more and hoping that we can get that word out through this event as well, so other people can understand the importance of this event.
Thank you so much for sharing that perspective and the cause and effect. You don't realize it limits people from showing up, living their lives. So
Mhm.
thank you for that. What about you, Natalie?
Well, that statistic, Janine, was the probably the most impactful, one of the most, of the statistic of not being able to send your children to daycare. And I thought of that as I've learned these statistics. I've played it in my own life of, what would I have done if I couldn't do that? And yes, it's the cause and effect until you're knowledgeable on these. And so I learning that and spreading it. This is such a fun and exciting way to spread this message. And the message needs to be out there. And our community needs to understand the challenges that people face within our own community and what the impact of that is, what happens, cause and effect, and what are some things that we can do. And I love the sustain. I try to focus on I try to put my energy in areas, regardless of where it is, where there's a long lasting impact. And that's why I said initially, talking about education in finances, I could easily take somebody's money or wealth and manage it and not include them in the process. And I know that outcome should be pretty good for them. It should be a positive experience. But I can really impact them if I educate them about what I'm doing and why we're doing it, and encourage them to now teach their kids, or encourage them to teach their family, or encourage them to keep passing that on and understand it. And I feel the same way about this. It's the educational component and the sustainability, like laws that need to be passed, changes that need to be made that really can be sustainable, so that every year it's not building from ground zero. And a 4 million diaper gap
Wow.
annually, that is a lot of diapers. It is a
Yeah.
lot of diapers. So, on a personal note, I have realized something about myself, and that is that I am always looking to improve and find ways that I can continue to grow and improve in my own personal as a human being. And I've realized that I tend to focus on growth in areas that I'm already pretty good at, to be quite honest, from being a mom to work to, flamenco dancing specifically. And so personally, I have been very challenged. As Jeannine's saying, it's nice to hear that so have the other 7, because we really have it. We kinda joke when we see each other at dance class and run into each other, and we eye each other to see, like, what cool tricks are they doing? Like, what's everybody up to? What outfits? What are this? What are that? But honestly, it has been a huge growth experience. To My brain has had to learn something different than what it has been used to. And in some ways, I don't know that the other change makers will agree with me when I say this, but in some ways, I find it even more challenging than if I wasn't a dancer, because I have to unlearn this dance over here and then get my brain. It took me a while. And I remember Renato is my dance instructor, and one of his friends, she said, just be patient with her. She's thinking it. Like, she's very much listening and understanding and thinking, so she gets it, and then she'll start dancing. Because I would ask questions like, "Well, what do you mean? Like, how am I supposed to stand? What this is lower, this is" and he would remind me, like, "Don't do that, that's flamenco, you're doing flamenco." I'm like, "Shoot." So I have kinda had to unlearn something in order to learn something new. So it's been a really neat process, and I bring my kids along. I squeeze in dance before we head off to softball and in between homework. And I'm like, I got dance class today. We have to go to dance. And everybody come. And this is going to be so fun. And half the time they're like, really, mom? Like, can we get food on the way? Can we get this? Can we but it's been a lot of fun. And so from the experience side of being involved as a change maker, Arizona Diaper Bank does a phenomenal job. Jeannine, you and your team, the board, the staff has it's a phenomenal event, and it's going to be fun. This is not an event where you kind of go and mingle and sit around. I mean, it is going to be fun next Saturday. There is a lot of energy and excitement coming into this room. There's judges. So I think everybody in Tucson that is not busy next Saturday should definitely be at La Paloma. Or
On
on
Saturday the 18th, yes.
So Saturday, April 18th, La Paloma. So are there tickets, that they can go buy
Yes.
now individually? Do you have to buy a table? Can you give us the details on that?
Yeah, and maybe we can link this in your podcast to
Absolutely.
the site where they can purchase tickets, and so you can purchase tickets to benefit your change maker. And let me give a shout out to some of our other change makers involved. We have to Brooke Blaine, who is heads the Beyond Football program for the Arizona football team. We have Melissa Dye from Arizona Complete Health. We have Natalie, of course. We have Stephen Fowler from Tucson Business Networking, Brett Jones from Source Chiropractic, Benji Medlock, who runs the Lenu'u Foundation, Legacy Foundation, and that is supports the Polynesian athletes at the University of Arizona. We have Allie Smith. Some may know her father, who was Larry Smith, former great football coach here at Arizona. And Allie works at Cottonwood. Tucson, and then we have Edgar Soto. Many people know Edgar here in town. He also is part of Pima Community College, but all great and come from different backgrounds and bring such a unique perspective to this. And so I'm super excited to see their performances. But yeah, we are at La Paloma on April 18th. This year's show will be a little different than it has in the past. We're going to have a silent auction beforehand, lots of great items available, cocktail hour. We'll have dinner before the show, and then the show will begin at 7 p.m. So it's going to be a show. We are not going to be eating during the show. We are going to be focusing on these dancers and really getting into the excitement of it. We have Sally Shamrell is going to be our MC. Many people might know Sally. She's a local. She's been in the news or on the news. She owns Jonathan's Quirk. And so we're excited to have her on board. And then we have two of our last year's winners are going to be our judges, and that is Leanne Savage and Ricky Hunley. And so both of them will be judging the event along with a third judge. We're still determining who that is. We're waiting for a yes from a very exciting person here in town to be part of that as well. So great cast of people that will be there. And so, yes, tickets are still available and you can buy them, like I said, to support your dancers. If you go online, you can say, I want to buy a ticket that supports Natalie, and you can do that. We're also still open for sponsorships. We still have a few available. So if you want to sponsor and get awareness for your business and your brand, those are still there. You can find those on the site. And also tables are still available, but they are filling up fast. There's a little thing called basketball that ended recently, unfortunately, a little but, now people are really, moving to the next thing, and that's, Dancing with Our Stars, so seats are filling up quickly here.
I love it. Yes, and I'll put the link to that in the show notes as well. Thank you so much, first of all, for sharing this and Natalie Changemaker and to the other changemakers for your service and time because everyone's busy. Like you're no less busy than me or anybody listening. And I just honor you for that, for being part of the solution. And those listening, be sure to support in any way you can. Buy a ticket. If you heard a name on the Changemaker that you're like, oh, I know them. I didn't realize that. Follow Arizona Diaper Bank on socials. I'll also drop that in the show notes.
Great.
Yeah. And just continue to be part of it. Again, this isn't like this is just the only year. This is, right, an ongoing
20 years, over 20 years, this event has taken place in
yeah,
Tucson, so,
which is
yeah.
so incredible, that longevity of an event that just shows, like, how powerful and impactful it is. People can volunteer. They could just give a monetary donation, correct?
Absolutely. On the website, if you go to the Arizona Diaper Bank, there's a donate button right there. You can donate funds at any time, of course. You can donate your time or you can donate diapers. And I can say we need some larger size diapers. They have an abundance of preemie size diapers. We're looking for those size 3, 4 toddler size diapers and adult products as well. So anything is much appreciated that can be donated.
Yay. Awesome. Okay, all of that will be in the show notes, so anybody listening, you're gonna be able to find these incredible ladies as well as connect with the diaper bank. This won't be the last time that these 2 ladies, whether they come on individually, again together, y'all stay tuned, follow these incredible ladies, watch what they're doing out into the world. So, per tradition, we're gonna wrap up with these closing questions, so I'll go ahead and start with Jeannine. The first question, because I love affirmations,
Oh,
I wanna ask you, what is your favorite affirmation?
there's always another day. I think that's really how it is. You can wake up one day and have a hard time getting out of bed, but the next day is always a better day. And we've all had our ups and downs, but I could tell you there's always a better day around the corner. I've always welcomed the fire now, bring it on because I know things only get better as things get more challenging. And so I welcome a challenge because I have learned and grown from every challenge that I've been through. And we can talk about that on another podcast. But yeah, no, I welcome it. And I know tomorrow's always a better day.
Oh, I love that. What about you,
Mhm.
Natalie? Do you have a favorite affirmation?
My affirmation is 3 words, and it's performance, presence, purpose. So as we continue to perform in whatever it is that we do, remind ourselves to be present and do it with purpose. And that will guide us in the direction that we need to go. So
Love it, love it. Okay, Jeannine, next question. What is your favorite book currently? Sometimes it's a hard
Oh,
one.
Well, I just read Strangers. I think everybody's read that recently. I just read that. One of my favorite books of all time is Molokai, which is about the leper colony in Molokai in Hawaii. And so I love the story there. It's about a woman challenged. I think I love all books about women that are challenged, whether it's a biography or a fictional account. And so yeah, those are my most recent ones, and so I'm about to read Still Life. Have that in my queue to start that. That was given to me by a girlfriend, so I'm gonna start that here in a moment.
Love it. Good recommendations. And Natalie, what about you? Do you have a favorite book?
I'm reading right now 2 books, Awaken, which a friend shared with me and recommended that I read, and I'm reading the AI Marketing Canvas, which is thrilling. Really focused on enhancing my AI intelligence in all areas. It's a part of the future, and so understanding where that has its place. So those 2 are currently in process.
Ooh, thank you for sharing. Okay, and the final question, Jeannine, what are you most proud of?
Oh
Oh, it's
gosh, I
funny, y'all.
immediately your children. I just nothing makes me more proud than what they've accomplished and where they're at today. My daughter Mia, who's a cancer survivor and has inspired me to do the things that I do to support children and their health. And then my son, who's an attorney up in Phoenix, they live in Phoenix, and both former U of A grads and former athletes, and I'm super proud of their journeys and where they've gotten in life. They're my best friends, and yeah, could be more proud of them.
Oh, they're amazing, by the way.
Mhm.
And Natalie, what are you most proud of?
You know, Teresa, that is and you both know me well. That's an interesting question that I can think of a lot of people or things that I'm proud of, and I'm gonna do something that's really vulnerable and say, I'm really proud of myself, to be honest, and I don't say that probably enough. I don't know that we all say that enough. I know your all stories, and you all know mine, but to be able to show up day after day for our kids, for ourselves, for that matter, um, we all get handed things, and regardless of that path, to keep going and to continue to evolve and lead a life that has purpose in it, which I am surrounded by amazing people like the 2 of you that do that. I'm proud I'm proud of myself for continuing to do that. It doesn't mean I'm perfect and it doesn't mean everything's easy all the time, but I don't think I say it enough that I am proud of myself. And if I don't say it, I'm not sure. I don't know who else does. So, kind of a vulnerable thing to say. I don't think I've ever actually said that out loud. So
Well, I'm
there we
proud of
go.
both of you guys. So
I'm proud
Glad
of
you
you.
could say
Look at us.
that. Yes.
We're like a proud facet.
everything's awesome.
Right?
Everything is
Everything
awesome.
is
Inside joke, people.
awesome.
But yes, I love that you said that because my go-to answer, right, is my kids. But I love that you reminded us of just honoring ourselves. And I'm also proud of you both, Jeannine and Natalie.
To be really clear, I'm super proud of my kids. I'm super proud of your kids,
Oh yeah,
Teresa,
we all
your
yeah.
kids,
And
Jeannine,
your
and
kids.
But you know what?
like I'm proud
I'm
of
proud of me.
everybody.
I love it. Hashtag I'm proud of me.
Yeah, there you
Proud.
go.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please download, rate, subscribe, and share this podcast. Also, be sure to visit my website at teresacaesar.com to check out my inspirational merch, connect to my social accounts, and much more. May you continue to be filled with wisdom, inspiration, and consciousness. Otherwise, friends, I will be back for another episode of Heart to Talk.